If you're looking for one of the best surround sound experiences possible out of a soundbar, you're going to want to take a look at what we've got here. This is the Samsung HW-Q990F, and it's their flagship model for 2025. And in this video, I'm going to go through the specs and features to help you decide if it's the right one for your home theater, so stick around. To start, this is a good looking soundbar, but it is big, so you'll want to keep that in mind when you're deciding where to install it. The soundbar itself is 48.5 inches wide, 2.8 inches high, and 5.4 inches deep. Each surround speaker is about 5 by 8 by 5.5 inches, and they have a little trick up their sleeve that I'll talk about later. And then you have the subwoofer, which is pretty compact at about 10 by 10 by 10 inches, which is a pretty small footprint for a sub that puts out as much bass as this one does. Something else to remember here is that each of these pieces has its own power cord to plug in. Outside of those and the connection to the TV, there aren't really any other cords to deal with initially, so setup is going to be simple even for a novice. Now let's take a look at what else comes in the box. Aside from all the speakers, you get an HDMI cable, a wall mount kit, rubber feet, a remote control, and some batteries. And here's a closer look at the remote so you can see the button layout. You also have the option to control the 990F through the SmartThings app on your smartphone. As far as the connections go, you get Wi-Fi, which lets you take advantage of smart features like Alexa, AirPlay, and Google Cast. Then there's also Bluetooth that you can use to stream wirelessly from your phone. Then there are 2 HDMI inputs plus a third HDMI eARC connection. And another huge benefit you get with the HDMI connections is that they're 2.1, which support 4K 120Hz pass-through, so you can hook up your PS5 and an Xbox to this, still take advantage of all their next-gen features, and not use up any of the HDMI inputs on your TV other than the eARC that the soundbar is plugged into. And don't forget, if you do purchase your soundbar from Apt, we have free lifetime tech support available to help you out in case you get stuck. So as you can tell, the Q990F has everything you'd expect from a flagship soundbar when it comes to style, connections, and functionality. None of that matters though if it doesn't sound good. But this doesn't sound good. It sounds great. No matter what you're listening to, you're gonna wind up getting terrific quality audio, and you've got options to play around with too. You get these different effects that you can choose from. There's standard, which is going to play everything back in its intended format. So you can do stereo, 5.1, 7.1, and spatial audio formats like Atmos and DTS X in 7.1.4 channels. But you also get surround, Game Pro, and adaptive sound, which upscale anything you're listening to into 11.1.4 channels. Surround is what you'd want to use for movies. Game Pro brings out all the quiet sounds when you're gaming, and adaptive sound optimizes whatever you're playing back scene by scene. And also with any of these modes, you can choose to turn on SpaceFit sound, which uses the soundbar's built-in microphones to read how the sound reflects around the room and optimizes the audio to make sure everything's hitting your ears at just the right time. These extra modes do a great job of making all your audio seem bigger, just more spacious than the original versions. The Q990F is also a fantastic option for anyone with small children or for someone who lives in an apartment or a condo where you're sharing walls with your neighbors, and it has to do with that trick that I mentioned earlier. This has a mode called Private Rear Sound, which sends all the audio to the rear speakers. This is going to let you watch a movie or a show at a quieter volume, but you'll still be able to hear what's going on. And now you're not disturbing anyone around you. Now you do lose a fair amount of the bass using this mode, but it is a much better option than not being able to use your TV at all or making your neighbors upset. The HW-Q990F is going to be a perfect option for anyone looking to add flagship level sound to any TV room. And it's even better if you already have a Samsung TV that supports the Q Symphony feature, because you can sync your TV speakers with the soundbar system for an even more immersive experience. It's not a budget model in any sense of the word, but trying to build a component system that offers the same performance is going to cost quite a bit more and won't be nearly as easy to set up. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like and hit subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest tech here available at Apt. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.